Hello everyone, welcome to EduTap. If you are doing preparation for RBI Grade B and especially if that is a self preparation, covering RBI website would be one of the highest priority thing on your list. But many a times I've seen aspirants jumping on the RBI website with a lot of enthusiasm, hoping to learn something new, but then within days or within hours they find it that it is really difficult to filter out the relevant part. So in this video, I would be discussing with you that how can you use your time judiciously to cover only relevant things from RBI website. Or in other words, what not to cover from RBI website. So guys, this is the RBI website in front of you. I hope you are able to see this. I'll try to zoom it further. Right now, I think you might have a better view of this. So I'll make it easier for you, right, to transverse through this website. So these are the tabs at your top: home, about us, notifications, press releases. So it goes till statistics, right? So let us start with the notification tab. This is something which is most important. What we call as RBI notifications. These are basically present here on this tab, right? Now, first of all, the notifications that you see right now on your screen are only for the month of December. So first of all, you have to go here on your right hand side and select all months. Right, when you select all months here, you will be able to see the notification for all the months here. You can scroll it down. Now, while deciding that which notifications you need to read, right, you have to follow 3-point formula. Note down these words: recurring, operational, regulation. So any notification which is kind of recurring, for example, some credit line for any bank has been increased, some data has been shared for you on related to economy, related to NPAs on weekly or monthly basis, that is something recurring. Operational again means that is related something to operations. It is not a major regulation that has come into picture. I'll give you some examples to understand that. Then the third one is regulation, that the actual regulation that has been made, and the regulation is more important if it is impacting the larger banking system, if it is impacting the larger public. Keep that rule in mind. Let me show you some examples. For example, the first one I'm taking is amendment to journal notification for sale of Government of India Treasury bills by auction. This seems important. It means some policy change has been made, right? You open that, right? Right. Then there is a basically amendment which you can click here, and here you will find that nothing concrete of sort has been mentioned, that some words union territories with legislature has been added and Nepal Rashtra Bank has been added. This is not something important. This is not something a major regulation that is impacting the larger banking system or the larger public. So I'll ignore that, right? Then there is a notification on restriction on storage of actual card data. This is very, very important. Some regulation has been made with respect to restriction on storage of actual card data. So this is something related to regulation, right? Here you can see this is something related to regulation which is impacting the lot of entities in the economy, in the banking system. See the next news. Exim Bank, Government of India supported line of credit of USD 40 million to the government of Togolese Republic. And these kind of news will keep coming now and then, that credit line of some bank has been increased or decreased. So I will find it more of a recurring or operational in nature. I will just avoid this. Next is government agency business arrangement. Appointment of scheduled private sector banks as agency banks of Reserve Bank of India. If you open this news, they have mentioned that now scheduled private sector banks can also work as agency banks of Reserve Bank of India. So that is a small news. You can basically go through that. Then prompt corrective action framework for non-banking financial companies. Very, 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 very important, guys. Prompt corrective action for non-banking financial companies. So some PCA framework has been made for non-banking financial companies. So this is important for me. Why? Because this is a regulation which is impacting the larger public or the larger banking system, right? It impacts all the NBFCs, right? It impacts how the NBFCs will work. Therefore, all the related entities with NBFCs will also get impacted. So this is a very important notification. Next is Section 24 of Banking Regulation Act. Maintenance of SLR, marginal standing facility, return to normal dispensation. So this news is that earlier MSF was increased during COVID. Now it has returned to normal dispensation. So this is just a news of operational in nature. There is no regulation in this, right? So I will just avoid this. Introduction of legal entity identifier for cross-border transactions. Now here they have introduced something of regulated nature, legal identity identifier for cross-border transactions. So this will become important for me. I'll do this. Next is journal permission for infusion of capital in overseas branches and subsidiaries and retention, repatriation, transfer of profits in these centers by banks incorporated in India. So this is again something happening of operational nature with between the overseas branches and the banks incorporated in India. So I would say this is operational in nature. I'll not go through it. Right. Implementation of Section 51A of UAPA 1967 updates to UNCC's 1267. This is again Al Qaeda section list. This is just operational. I'll not go through this. Right. So what is important for me is regulation, and the regulation which impacts the larger public, the larger banking system is even more important. Appointment of internal ombudsman by non-banking financial companies. Very, very important. Internal ombudsman has been mandatorily no has been mandated by RBI for NBFCs. Very, very important. Reserve Bank Integrated Ombudsman Scheme 2021, a new scheme, right? So scheme is also a kind of a regulation which has been introduced by RBI. Very, very important, right? So you can have this 3-point guideline while deciding whether you want to read something or want to leave something. If something is recurring, say they are sharing weekly data on NPAs, not important because that will keep on changing. Something is operational, right? Maybe some credit line has been increased, right? Maybe some bank has been included in the scheduled list. That is just of operational nature. You just have to focus on regulation. So that is basically deciding that what to leave and what not to leave. Now the next important point is that how to read. Now let me take this appointment of internal ombudsman by non-banking financial companies. I open this notification, right? And if I go through this notification, this seems to be really, really big to me. This seems to be really, really big to me. So how can I read this in less time? See, our first priority should be to read the notification from its original source, that is RBI website. And when you read it from RBI website, always try to read something which is kind of say defining the conditions, eligibility. Say if I say that who has to appoint ombudsman, they have given that these NBFCs has to mandatorily appoint ombudsman, that who has 10 or more branches or who have sizes of 5,000 crore or more. These are excluded. This is also important to know. Right. Then who can be appointed as IO? Right. Maybe somebody who is working at a rank of deputy general manager, should not be above 70 years of age. So all these conditions are important. So all these conditions with respect to eligibility, tenure, all these are important. But what is not important are operational details. Now, procedural guidelines for NBFCs regarding complaints referred to IO by the NBFC. This is not important. And when I say this is not important, I'm not saying that there is 100% surety that question will not come through this. Question can come, but again, value for your effort is more if you can ignore this. If you have time, go through this. If you have less time, ignore this. Right. And even better way to do this would be, I would say, just copy this, right? Open a new tab, copy paste here, and in the bracket write the Hindu. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to search this news in Hindu newspaper. Right. So I'll get this first link. RBI introduces internal ombudsman mechanism. This is what the news is. I open this. So here you will find that it is pretty less, right? It is even less than half a page of your say A4 size paper. So if you copy paste it there, and you will find that they have covered all the important news here. They have covered that who has to open NBFCs, who has to appoint ombudsman. So NBFCs with 10 or more branches with a set size of 5,000 crore or more, right? They have also mentioned that who are excluded, right? They have mentioned who are excluded. All these are excluded. Then they have also mentioned regarding the age and all, right? If you read here, what is the age? Deputy General Manager should be the rank of that person. So within this short news, you are getting something which is most important for your exam point of view. So this is how can you save your time while reading any RBI notification, or if some notification is too technical to understand, just copy it and write something like this, right? Uh, this plus the name of the newspaper Hindu, or you can say the Live Mint. So you will able to find this news in the Hindu and the Live Mint. So this is the most appropriate time saving technique to cover the notifications, right? I hope you get a value add here. So that is about the notifications, guys. Now if you come to press releases, in press releases you will find that there is a lot of data. India's internal investment position September 2021, right? Then Reserve Bank of India weekly bulletin, RBI to conduct 3-day variable rate reverse repo auction, government stock full auction results, result of 14-day variable rate reverse repo auction. So all these will be related to operational data, which will be related to RBI's auctions, RBI's say repo, reverse repo, all that. So this would be more or less operational data, or they will keep sharing some recurring data like economic data, NPA data, which is of not much use for your exam, at least for objective. So I would say that you can simply ignore press releases, except if some press release is related to some report released by RBI, right? For example, here it is. RBI releases financial stability report. Right. So this report itself is important for you, so you can go for that. But even for this report, you need not use the tab press releases. There is a different report by the name publications where you can find all these reports. So I think if you have less time, you can simply ignore the press releases tab. Right. Next, I'll come on to the speeches and interviews. Next, coming on to the publication, guys. You have to read only two publications, annual and half yearly. Do not go to quarterly, bi-monthly, monthly, weekly. This is just waste of time. Maybe some reports might give you some good insights, but then you have a limited time. Let's use it for something which shall help us fetch maximum marks. Let us be clear on our objective. In annual reports, annual report of RBI and report and trend and progress of banking in India. These two are really important. These two are even given in the notifications. Apart from that, in half yearly report, there is a report by the name financial stability report. Again, I would say this is very important from your descriptive perspective also. Right. So in publications, read only these two reports. Other tabs here are just waste of time. Right. Now coming out to these two tabs, speeches and interviews and memorial lectures, guys. Now speeches and interviews, if you go here, there are a lot of good speeches and they are related to your topics which are in syllabus. Financial inclusion empowers monetary policy. Ownership and governance, governance is in your syllabus, right? Then launch of RBI retail direct scheme, speech on that. Microfinance, this is again in your syllabus, right? Right. So I would say that there is a lot of good content. These speeches represents a lot of good insights into what is happening in the economy, what is happening in the world, what is happening in India with respect to these topics. But these speeches will not help you prepare for theory. Never do that. If you plan to cover the theory of financial inclusion from this speech, you are doing something entirely wrong. These speeches can help you build opinion, help you build perspective that can help you in descriptive writing. So these speeches can help you in descriptive part. I think they are the best thing if you read for your descriptive part, and read something which is only relevant to your syllabus. Financial inclusion in your syllabus, ownership and governance in your syllabus, right? Then governance and prudential supervision of financial institutions in your syllabus, microfinance in your syllabus, role of audit in modern financial system, maybe you can skip that. This is not directly part of your syllabus, right? India's capital account management, again, this is part of your syllabus as part of ESI, so you can read that again, right? So this is how you can filter the speeches and interviews, but do read it only after covering the notifications and the publications. If you have time, go for speeches and interviews. And even in the memorial lectures, there are really some good lectures. If you go to, say, C.D. Deshmukh Memorial Lectures, do you know who is C.D. Deshmukh? If you don't know, just Google it and do let me know in the comment window who is C.D. Deshmukh. Right. So here there are some really good lectures: central banking and innovation, the good and bad of fiscal theory, a revolution in monetary policy. These are really good lectures. I mean, you can learn a lot. But I am telling you again, you should read speeches and interviews and memorial lectures only once you have covered the static portion. Right. These are over and above your theory, which can help you build perspective. They cannot help you learn the theory. ठीक है, तो ये आपके डिस्क्रिप्टिव पोर्शन में ही काम आने वाले हैं. ठीक है, इसके अलावा रिसर्च टैब एंड स्टैटिस्टिक्स टैब, देयर इज लॉट ऑफ डेटा व्हिच कीप्स ऑन कमिंग ऑन रेगुलर बेसिस, व्हिच आई वुड से इज मोर ऑफ operational or recurring in nature, which is of not much use to you. Now, apart from that, what do I need to do from RBI website? Just one thing, guys, I would say, which is mandatory if you are doing self preparation. You search on RBI website, right, like this: RBI website plus FAQs. You press enter and it will take you to RBI FAQs. So these are the RBI FAQs on banking, currency, foreign exchange. If you click that, you will get all the RBI FAQs related to banking. Click on currency, you will get all the RBI FAQs related to currency. Similarly, foreign exchange, government securities market, NBFCs. Now, what to read from it? There is a lot of data. I would say you can read the FAQs on banking because they are journal in nature and they will help you develop some good knowledge. Government securities market. This is the most important part of your FAQs, right? And they are really something which can do good value addition to your knowledge. So please do read government securities market and NBFCs, right? And payment systems also you can read. This is again something really useful. So banking, government securities market, NBFCs and payment system. Why not currency and foreign exchange? Though foreign exchange is in a syllabus, but the FAQs related to foreign exchange here are not much core to what you need to learn. So I think you can skip that. So just read four things: banking, government securities, NBFCs, and payment systems. And this is true only if you are doing self preparation. All those who are preparing from EduTab courses, I would suggest not to go through this because this has already been covered in your course in the respective chapters. Right, guys? So this is all I wanted to tell you. I hope next time when you go to RBI website, you will have a better vision, you will have a better clarity, as in how to approach this RBI website and what not to read. So say to save some precious time of yours, right? And do something valuable in that time. Have a nice day. Bye bye. If you like this video, do subscribe to our channel, right, for some daily updates. And you can also join our Telegram channel, the description of which is given the link for which is given in the description of this video. Bye bye.